boy is a freshman coming in. I want to know, not say he's coming in here to start, but if he's good enough to start, that's cool. Where on the depth charts do you see him? What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? And what are his chances to see the field this season?
Now that he's in the NFL, what has surprised you all the most about the transition from college football to the professional level?
Well, college football is more fun. I miss those days with college fans, the fans, being out there with them. On a professional level, most of them are married. They have their family. So I met some of them, other mothers and all like that, but it's not as close-knit like you are when you were in college. They look at me like at Louisville, they call me Mama Kellee, but they call me OG Card Mom. Because, like I said, when new people come in, they're reaching out to me because the first thing they tell them about Quincy. They'll call me to ask me how was it there, asking me questions. And, I tell them, hey, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to tell you what you need and I ain't going to tell you what you want to hear because that's not going to help the problem. So they treat me like a family still. I go to games every once in a while, but college is just more family oriented. And those Saturday games, it's just a different atmosphere from college. I love the pros, of course. Sometimes even though my son out there playing, when we playing teams, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's him. I get to meet the people who I used to watch at home. Yeah, because I was a Ravens fan, man, and I know we played Baltimore this year. And Lamar, hey, I want my boy to do good, but
Right.
look, I'm gonna be looking at Lamar.
A little conflict there.
No, it ain't conflict because I was a Ravens fan since 1997.
Okay.
Before
All
Lamar
right.
was born.
That's good. That's
So
good.
hey, I just get a little starstruck and it feels good like Chase Young and Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, all these OGs that have been there reaching out to my son, showing my son love. When we after the game, we get to see the players and all. They telling me, Mama, you got a good one. When I first went to training camp, met him, all of them had good things to say about Quincy. All of them, they say he listens, he's coachable, he's right there, he's not hard. And they was like, Mama, he gonna have a good career.
And we're cheering for him every time we get a chance to watch the Saints play, and we're always cheering and pulling for him to do his best. And before we leave tonight, for parents listening who are just getting ready to start this particular journey, what's one piece of advice you'd give them about supporting their student athlete the right way?
It's a process. You have to weigh its pros and the cons of it. Enjoy this moment because you only get this moment one time. When you go in there, talk to the coach face to face. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't know the answer unless you ask the questions. If you are straight up with them, they have to be straight up with you because if they fake, you could tell fake. You got to say, hey, coach, I know my boy is a freshman coming in. I want to know, not say he's coming in here to start, but if he's good enough to start, that's cool. Where on the depth charts do you see him? What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? And what are his chances to see the field this season? I don't necessarily say, hey, you can't say he's going to be in the games. He might start off special teams or whatever position he might be playing. You just got to give it time. Trust the process and don't go in there, oh, they told me this, they told me that, because you're not the only one. You just have to be wise and think ahead of them. Just like they told your son this, they telling the next person the same thing. It's a script. They're going to tell them that. You just got to sit there and outweigh it. Again, don't go to a school for its name. You got plenty to look because everybody's on the same level. When you go to Power 5, they got 5 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. Everybody is on the same level when you go there to college. It ain't no stars. That's what they rank you. But when you get there, because Quincy was a 3-star. He was a 3-star. So that does not matter. You got to go out there and compete. And for the mothers, when something happens, don't go to the coach and be like, that ain't what you said. You can't let him your son can't grow because every time a problem comes, you can't fix it. You gotta show him and let him know, hey, you gotta be open. Go talk to your coach. If you having a problem, go talk to your coach. It's not my job to go talk to him because I'm not around him every day. Let him go and talk, sit down and talk with coach. I'm not comfortable with this, or this is not what you told me. I'm trying to do. What do I need to fix? He has to be the young man to go and fix that. Don't get to calling, texting coaches. This not little league anymore. You're messing him up because guess what? If he do decide to leave, teams call
Oh, yeah.
that coach, and when they gonna say they're gonna show a red flag. Look, this kid right here, his mama, his mama is the problem, not the kid. The mama is the
Right,
problem. So
right.
I don't know. You might not want to, go that way with him. I didn't have a problem with the kid. The mama was doing all of the damage. So you got to be mindful. And second, compete. You have to compare to compete. You can't sit there and think nothing is given. If you see your son putting in 110, when he comes home on a break, if he going to that gym working out, he might go running around the neighborhood. He got to keep training. He got to keep pushing. He got to keep doing this and that. He can't just come home, sit and chill, go hang with his friends. That's showing me you ain't trying to do nothing.
That's
So yeah, you just gotta keep going. And even with females, I don't know. I can't tell you on that end because I don't have a daughter that I
right,
went through this with because my daughter did. She wasn't a sports person.
right,
But
right.
when it comes to boys, you just got to. You can't just sit there. And mama can't fix everything.
One last question, Kelly. How was Quincy received? He's accepted on the NFL team, New Orleans Saints. He gets there. How did the other players welcome him, or did they welcome him? Did they give him the cold shoulder?
No, 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 no. Soon as he got drafted, the quarterback from Louisville got drafted also. He went in the second round. So they
Okay.
played that last year together. He was one of the first ones. Soon as he got his name called, he called them and they showing their hat going off. But the other Kool-Aid, McKinstry, he plays on the other side of Quincy.
I
He reached
remember
out to
that.
Quincy. When you coming to town, bro, we gonna meet up. Soon as I had a party from him that Saturday night after the draft, so he left that Sunday to go to New Orleans. They wanted him to come that day, but they was like, they told him his mama to plan the party and he a mama's boy and they gonna celebrate that. She done had a lot going on. She beat cancer this year. Her mother
Right.
passed away. So
Awesome.
y'all will see him tomorrow. That's what his agent told him. And they were
Yeah.
cool with it. But Kool-Aid reached out to him and from day one, hey, they're like two peas in pot. His name is Quincy Riley, and his name is Jug Quincy. So
Wow.
yeah, Quincy's actually a year older than him, but he went in the draft 2024 and Quincy went 2025. And I met him on the phone and I told him, I said, make sure you look out for him now. He's like, I got him, mama, I got him.
That's good.
And he called me mama. And like I
Oh,
said, when met the other player, as soon as I met the older OG vets, Cam Jordan. Every
mhm.
time he see me, mama, that boy, I told him I got him. He was like, that's my boy. He was like, Quincy. He was like, everybody and their mama loves Quincy. The GM, the head coach, he was like, yeah, when I saw Quincy, he was like, we had already, had our minds made up. We were going after him because it was our Michael. The strangest thing is back in November, right before we played Clemson, we beat Clemson and
Mhm.
Quincy got DB of the week. Right
Yeah.
before then, the Saints had just traded Marshawn Lattimore to the
Yes.
Commanders.
Yes, I remember that.
His DB coach at Louisville, the GM from the Saints, text his coach and he's like, we just traded Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders. What's the 411 on Quincy Valley? Can he handle the city of New Orleans? Because New Orleans is different. It's a party town. If you put out a party, it's really nothing for you to do. He wanted to. And I was like, that wasn't nothing but God. I look at that text just about every day. I say, it was already written.
Wow.
Already written.
Awesome. That is phenomenal. Thank you so much.
You are
Miss
more than
Kelly,
welcome.
truly appreciate it. I'm excited about speaking with you, and we're let Quincy know that we are cheering for him and
Yeah,
we're
he's getting ready he's trying to see what either June or July for his camp. He's trying to get a camp going and trying to have it at AC Floyd at his alma mater.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank
Yes,
you.
we have the QR3 Foundation. We're gonna have a walk going for Alzheimer's and dementia because my father, he had dementia when he passed.
Mhm.
And then we'll have one for cancer. I beat colon cancer last year
Glory
in
to God.
January, and my mother passed away. She had pancreatic cancer. So,
Mhm.
we gonna work hard and strive and, help as much as we can with the cancer, giving back and doing what we can and all like that for cancer.
Kellee, thank you so much for sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your journey with us today. Quincy's story reminds us that success isn't built in a single season, it's built on everyday moments, the
Got that
unseen
right.
sacrifices, and the steady encouragement from the people who love you the most. So, to every parent listening, stay the course. Your child doesn't need perfection, they need your love, they need your support. They need someone who believes in them on the good days and the tough days. So keep showing up, keep speaking life to them, keep giving them the space to grow. As we heard Kellee say earlier, give them a space to grow up and be that young man, that young woman that you've raised them to be. And know that the road to college athletics and even the NFL is a rare straight. But with support, patience, faith, your student athlete, your child can write the story that's uniquely theirs. So before we leave, please hit that like button, share this content, subscribe, share this information with other parents that could use the guidance and support. This has been Recruiting from the Bleachers. I'm Michael Strange. And until next time, keep cheering and steering our student athletes on to success. Thank you. That wraps up another episode of Recruiting from the Bleachers. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to join us next week for another insightful conversation. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube at Recruiting from the Bleachers. Like, share, and follow to keep up with the latest updates. And don't hesitate to leave your comments and questions. We'd love to hear from you. For a deeper dive into the basketball recruiting process, check out our book, Basketball Recruiting, A Parent's Perspective, available now on Amazon.com. Parents, remember, from the bleachers to the big leagues to the boardroom, let's keep cheering and steering our student athletes towards success. We'll see you next time.